I'm very happy that I can speak to you on this interesting topic, the social context of modern technology. And I do this from a perspective that's very close to me. It is from an historical and cultural perspective. So you may know that I'm a philosopher of culture and I study historical developments in a special context. And so for me, it is important to consider technology as something that needs a new context. In early days, I will describe this in my lecture, there was a sacred technology. The technology was morally embedded in a culture of spiritual science that was centered around the temples of the past. And the priests were in fact the inventors, and they were connected with the spiritual world. So it is in fact the spiritual beings who gave all these inventions of the past, like the looms, like the technology to build a pyramid, and so many other things that were important in the past, and they served all certain social needs. But this is far away now because we have passed through an intermediary period in which technology became no longer a gift from the gods, but something that human beings created themselves. And the question is, from what inspirations will we create our technology? So in the modern world of science and technology, there are certain interests that promote certain developments in technology. And we never know in whose interest it is that certain new developments come. So when we look at 5G, we may say, well, who is really needing this? And why are we, why this is rolling out over us? And so this is a sign that science and technology is no longer embedded in a consciousness and in morality, but in certain financial interests. So I will give this trajectory from old mysteries to new mysteries, because we have to learn to receive the things that we need from spiritual beings instead of from initiates from a totally different spiritual school. Because it may be surprising to you, then we look at the leaders of modern companies, of financial centers, of the people that invent new technologies. Suppose that they come from the subterranean mystery school that Ahriman created a few centuries ago. And maybe they're all just dark initiates. And so we have to keep this in mind when we look at the people who run our countries, the politicians and the bankers and the inventors. And isn't it time that we change this so that we create for ourselves a humane future instead of a very dark future in which we became parts of a machine and are controlled in a surveillance society in which we lose our freedom? So this is the perspective I want to describe when I develop with you this topic of the social context of technology.